everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Movie Bae, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review over Love Island USA season 7 episode 8. Okay, here comes trouble. Ace is stirring up all the trouble in the villa because he want to play games and he can't make up his mind, you guys. Okay, this has been the best episode of the season thus far. I know how we all was like, episode 1 is really good and everything else in between kind of been a little bit lackluster, but they definitely brought it with the drama this episode. All right, but before we get too into it though, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. Here on Movie Bae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place, okay? Especially for Love Island. I do episodic reviews and we go live every Saturday to talk about the week's drama. I'm talking about like online tea. We look up new bombshells, and of course we just, chit chat about the drama that happened that week. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell so you can be alerted every time I upload. If you find yourself enjoying my commentary, please engage with the video by giving it a thumbs up and of course leaving your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. All right, y'all know I usually go storyline by storyline and then we talk about the group activity at the end if there is one. I guess we can get the small stuff out the way. Taylor knows that he needs to continue to reassure Olandria. Good job, Taylor. I think you're still not attracted to her, but as long as it keeps you in the villa until some new bombshells come around, do your thing, sir. I don't think Charlie and Hannah were even mentioned in this episode. See, the editors and producers, they know that they're as insignificant as we feel like they are as well. And Nick and Sierra didn't have any drama this episode. So yeah, touche. So that means all the drama surrounds Jeremiah and Huda, Ace, Amaya, Shelly, and Austin. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the villa's favorite couple, mom and dad. Mom and dad might get a divorce. No, we definitely started seeing the cracks in their relationship on this episode. I personally started seeing the cracks in their relationship last episode. So last episode, after like the recoupling or whatever, Huda was venting about how, oh my gosh, like that was so unpredictable. It's so scary how guys can be like that. And Jeremiah was like, how can guys can be like what? Women can be like that too. And I knew from the expression on his face, it was like the butt, you know what I'm saying? But he dropped it because I feel like he felt like it wasn't worth arguing about. And then, of course, in my last review, I was like, I'm the type of person like, nah, that's something to definitely be like, noted. Because they might have different ideologies about things like that. You know, how men are, how women are. Are you always going to be blaming men for stuff? Do women not take accountability? I'm just saying, like, from his perspective. That's when I first saw, like, Jeremiah looking like, I don't know about that. But let's proceed with this particular episode. All right. In this episode, I feel like this is the most I've seen Jeremiah venture outside of Huda. I feel like he's had, editing wise, because I don't know what's really going on in the villa, but editing wise, he has been talking to more people outside of Huda. You know, I usually just see him with Huda or with the boys. He had a conversation with Olandria this particular episode, and they talked about, baby mama, baby daddy stuff. And which is a good conversation to have because Jeremiah and Huda, they touched on it at the water park, but I don't know if they went into details about it. So when Jeremiah's talking to Olandria, y'all villa bestie that's never messy, sarcasm, they do get into a good conversation. The same conversation I had in my last review, why I personally don't like dating guys with kids, because if so, the baby mama needs to be not around. Long distance, you got full custody, something of the sort, because like Olandria said, another person is going to have full access to your person, and then you have to figure out, is that something that you want to or can deal with. She also talked about how when you decide to play stepdaddy, for lack of a better term, Huda is not just Huda anymore. She is now a package deal. And I think that was a lot for Jeremiah to think about, because realistically, when you date somebody with kids, they are a package deal. It's them and their child. And especially, there's no tea, no shade, but a lot of the times, the mother, the woman, has the child a majority of the time. So that comes in with living with the child, really being a stepdaddy. Like, y'all can't just get up and go whenever you want to get up and go, especially if they talked about last episode, Huda moving from North Carolina to LA to be with Jeremiah. Now her support system is gone. So we're gonna have to find babysitters and daycares and all type of stuff for baby girl if y'all want to go out and do something for real, like without the child. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely a lot to consider, especially as his first relationship, especially if he has never done it before. And I think that was definitely lingering on Jeremiah's mind the rest of the episode. The rest of the episode. So when he goes to talk to Huda that night, she's asking him, like, do you want me to leave? Do you want to be around me? And he like, what? The look on his face. I know he felt his face looking like, what are you talking about? Because immediately his facial expression changed. Like, let me put my mask back on. But Huda mentioned, like, at the round table or whatever when they was downstairs, that she asked if they was closed off and he said no. So basically Huda is trying to press, even though she says no pressure, she's not rushing him, but yes, you are rushing him. She wants him to close it off. And if not, why not? Why can't we close it off? So Jeremiah, basically, he doesn't want to make empty promises. He doesn't want to say, okay, we closed off, you're the only one for me, and then some new bombshells come in, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And it's only been a week, so I definitely don't want to close off in a week, and then somebody else come, and now it's like, I look like the bad guy because I closed it off, and now I'm exploring other people. So, understandably, Jeremiah, understandably, it's only been a week. I don't want you. Yeah, right now you are the only one for me, but who knows what the future holds? You know what I'm saying? And my issue with Huda, she crazy. I already told y'all that, but she keeps telling him, "Oh, no rushing. I'm not rushing." But you keep asking me the same question every day about closing off, about life outside the villa. I mean, good conversation to have. The life outside the villa, good conversation to have. But like, stop asking that boy if y'all want to close off. And if you want somebody to close you off, if you want somebody to quote unquote claim you, ain't that what she said? Is that what I wrote in my notes? Yeah, if you start claiming me, then whatever. Like, if you want somebody to do that, go find somebody to do that. Because Jeremiah not doing it. He doesn't want to do it. And for being a weekend in this process, I understand. All right. So my bad. I want to say this part too. No. So during this conversation, Huda also is saying, good job. Like, good job. Yeah, good job. You haven't been exploring other people. Good job. You've been loyal to me. And Jeremiah hates that. And I have noticed that she does do that. But Jeremiah's sick of it. He's tired of it. He's like, you act like you're talking to a child or like a dog or something. Like, stop saying good job. Excuse me. So words of affirmation is that words of affirmation? Yeah, something like that. That's not his love language. He don't need to know that he doing a good job. He got it. He grown. So no physical touch for Ace and no words of affirmation for Jeremiah. Thanks. But every time or when the conversation gets heated, Huda says, you want to go take a shower? You want to shower with me? And I was like, no. And I'm happy Jeremiah said no, because this is not healthy. Every time we argue or if a conversation gets heated, you try to divert it with SCX or something sexual. Like, no. And that's exactly why I don't agree with Makeup X, because you're not taking care of the problem. You're not talking about the problem. Instead of talking about it, you just want to have SEX. No. Now, unless that comes after the conversation, sure. But you're always going to have that problem. That problem's going to continue to exist if you just cover it up with SEX. It's kind of like, oh, you're mad at me, so let me offer you my body. You're mad at me, so let me remind you why you like me, or why I think you like me, or a major part of why you like me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that he shut that down. Good job, Jeremiah. Good job, Jeremiah. I'm dead AF. Later on in the episode, though, after the game, and yeah, we'll talk about the game a little bit. Jeremiah's kind of like down, right? And I feel like the conversations that he's been having that episode really got him to thinking. The one with Alandria about the baby mama, baby daddy stuff and being a package deal. The conversation he had with his boys, how they feel like Huda isn't 100% genuine in this process. Like sometimes it seems real, her love for you seems real, and other times it kind of seems like she's just playing it safe. I feel like all of these conversations. Oh, and of course the good boy, because she also stated later on in the episode when he brought her breakfast, she said, "Oh my God, you did such a good job, babe." I think all of that is weighing on him, and he's just sitting there sulking. He is. She asked what's wrong, and he's like, "No, I'm good." And instead of leaving that man alone, she pouts. "Oh, well, fine." Goes and sit down on the couch, folding her arms. I'm like, girl, you are a child. You're so emotionally mature. But yeah, you sitting up there pouting. Why is Jeremiah mad at me? Why does he want to talk to me? It's like, now you're drawing attention. Like, now you're making a scene. Now you're doing too much. Now you being dramatic. I'm going to go talk to him anyways. That boy just said he fine. Now, honestly, we know that he wasn't fine. So I understand her wanting to know what's wrong. I do. However, some people need time to think. Some people need time to sulk. Some people need time to process. Let that man have his time. But no, everything is on Huda's time. Everything is on Huda's time. Telling him that she had a kid, that was on Huda's time. Yeah. Because I remember he was like, "Oh, you gonna tell me about the 2 bedrooms? Oh, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Oh, every time she want to talk about something, we'll talk about it tomorrow." I mean, every time he want to talk about something, she puts it out to tomorrow. But when she want to talk about something, oh, we're going to talk about it right now. So she pull him up or whatever. They go talk. And he lays it out. You know, like, the boy has told me, you know, sometimes your feelings for me don't seem genuine. And she throws a fit. And granted, I understand, but I feel like she could have said it in a different way. Because I would have been like, okay, so how do you feel? Because if you're going to let your friends about how they feel about me affect how you feel about me, then you're not the nigga for me. But she just, I know something's wrong with you. When I stand in front of you, how do you hold me? Like, I'm not gonna hold you every time, bro. Like, you girl, relax, calm down. Huda's insecurities are showing for sure. They're heightened. You know, she is on eggshells because she thinks that he's gonna run off anytime. However, Huda, you're not doing a good job keeping that man at bay. You're not doing a good job keeping him at bay. I think you need to talk to more people in the villa. Have more side conversations. Expand your horizons. Expand your horizons. Well, not expand your horizons, but just talk to more people because y'all are getting sick of each other. Y'all spent 24/9 together. Y'all are going to get sick of each other. Y'all are going to start picking out these little things. Like, in all actuality, things that annoy you in the villa probably won't even annoy you in the real world. They probably won't because y'all will, one, hardly see each other. Especially in the real world, we have jobs, so we're not going to be together 24/9. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all spend so much time together now, y'all are going to get annoyed. That's exactly why y'all friends in the villa was telling y'all, bro, explore other people. Get to know other people. And that's just healthy so y'all won't get tired of each other. That flame is burning out fast. Yeah, so anyways, oh yeah, I also had a Landria up on here because y'all bestie that's never messy. Earlier in that day, episode 7, she was like, yeah, Jeremiah doesn't seem real. Like, it doesn't seem like he really likes her. Like, it seems fake. I'm just going to support her Delulu. And then at that night, episode 8, now she team Jeremiah and Huda. Girl. But that's y'all bestie. All right, y'all, before we get into the toxicity of Ace... Before we get into this drama, you guys, I would like for y'all to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Drop your thoughts and opinions on Huda and Jeremiah in the comment section down below, okay? Let's go ahead and get into Ace and Amaya. And I'm about to go off. I feel like I'm going to go off because Ace really pissed me off this episode. So, that night, Amaya is talking to Hannah. And she's telling Hannah how Ace is still her number 1 and she's still interested in pursuing him. And I said, hold on. You pursuing him? See, that's the problem. That's where you messed up. That's why Taylor said in that game that you trying too hard. Because, baby, we're women. We're women. We don't pursue. We reciprocate. The men pursue. The women reciprocate. Okay? That's issue number 1. And if y'all disagree, you disagree. But that's issue number 1. Okay. So while she's telling Hannah that, oh, and by the way, she liked that toxic ish because that man earlier that day, y'all just had 3 conversations about what he won't allow you to do. And yet you are still, quote unquote, pursuing him. While she's having that conversation with Hannah, Ace is telling Nick that he just wants to be friends and he's not actively pursuing her. I said, oh, hell. Oh, hell. This is not going to be good. So that night, Ace decides to hug Shelly goodnight. Oh, very cute. Okay. When Amaya gets in the bed, Amaya sees this, by the way. When she get in the bed, she look at him, she look at Shelly, she look back at him, and she like, "You not gonna give me a hug tonight?" And he says no. I said, hold on. I had to rewind because I said, didn't he just give Shelly a hug? See, I thought just like Amaya in that moment, like, are you kidding me? But Amaya, y'all didn't even have a good day that day. Y'all did not. So hey. But I think what she's more upset with is the boundaries. You said you don't be doing all of that, but yet you doing that with Shelly. So the next morning, Ace tries to set up a secret yoga date for him and Shelly with Nick as the instructor. Okay. Now, Shelly is downstairs cooking breakfast for her man. Hannah was like, oh, which man? Aha! I said, oop, gagged you, gooped you. She's like, I'm cooking for Austin. All right. Meanwhile, Ace is running around trying to set up this date. And then he goes over to Shelly and he's like, hey, what you doing? I'm making breakfast. You want some? Yeah, but not right now. I need you to get dressed. I said, hold on. Okay. Energy. We love that energy, ladies, right? Just tell me to get dressed. Tell me what I need. Tell me to get dressed. Tell me how long I got. And tell me if I need to wear heels or sneakers. That's all I need to know. And then surprise me. Love that. Love that for you, Ace. However, Shelly, I'm about to get on your head. Shelly stops what she is doing to go get dressed. Hold on. The night prior, you were just reassuring Austin that you're so glad that he chose you and he's your number one, and you and Ace don't have the conversations that you and Austin do. You just got done telling him that the night prior. Then you're making Austin breakfast this morning. But the moment that Ace tells you to drop everything, come quick, Craig's in trouble, you drop everything. Shelly. No, ma'am, that was not a good look. So when Shelly goes and get dressed, Amaya's up there. I don't think Amaya knew that Shelly was about to go on this secret yoga date, but she was upset about what happened the night prior. Okay, so Amaya addresses Shelly, and she was like, "No, she's like, Shelly, can I talk to you?" And I don't care if we talk in front of everybody. I said, I think y'all should talk in private, but okay. And so she basically says that she feels like Shelly wasn't genuine when she, meaning Amaya, confided in Shelly about she and Ace's issues. And she looked at it like Shelly was probably just trying to get information about their relationship so Shelly can know where she stands, basically. And Shelly was like, nah, it ain't like that at all. Amaya, it was hard to make out what was going on in this conversation because Amaya was talking so fast and she kept cutting Shelly off. And Shelly, you're better than me. Because I would have been like, bitch, do you want me to talk? Do you want to have a conversation? Or do you just want to vent? Because if you want to vent, bitch, get a diary. But if you want to have a conversation, then I need you to stop talking and listen to what I have to say. But you know what I'm saying? Shelly, kudos to you, Shelly. Kudos to you. Because me at my big age, no ma'am. But like Shelly stated, it's all misplaced anger because Amaya is not really mad at Shelly. Amaya is mad at the fact that Ace has boundaries with everybody except for Shelly. That was the real issue. So, you know how some girls do. Some girls attack the other woman instead of attacking a man. But, you know, misplaced anger for sure. Understandable though why Amaya would feel that way. Because it's like, hold on, this y'all hugging and stuff. Like, what's really going on? Like, you never told me y'all had a connection. Now, granted, Shelly said that she did state that she had a connection with Ace. We never heard those conversations on the television. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall Shelly ever telling Amaya that she has a connection with Ace. And then when Ace told Amaya about his connections, he never put a name to it. He was always vague and general and broad with his answers. So I can understand Amaya's frustration a little bit, because just yesterday, y'all did not have a good day, girl. I don't know. You are trying too hard for this man. I'm just saying. So y'all bestie that's never messy, when she goes downstairs, Ace pulls her to the side. He's like, hey, what's going on up there? And she's like, well, I don't want to tell anybody business. I said, but you just told somebody business yesterday. Now you don't want to tell nobody business? But I think you should be very straightforward and honest with your connections, because it's looking like somebody moving sneakily. Who moving sneakily? Ain't nobody moving sneakily. I said, Ace, you're moving sneakily. You're literally trying to set up a yoga session in the morning. Like, what? Did you tell Austin you were going to do that? Did you tell Amaya you were going to do that? Nigga, you're sneaky. So yes, you're moving sneakily, sir. But I don't even think she was referencing him. She was definitely referencing Shelly. So after that whole blow up, Ace pulls Amaya to the side and he tells her, this is how this conversation gonna go. I said, oh, not this how this conversation gonna go. Tell me how it's gonna go then, sir. He said, we gonna listen to each other. We're not gonna cut each other off. We're gonna listen to understand. I was like, okay, go. Not go. And then she went. Not go, and then she went. All I kept writing down in these notes is Amaya is a firecracker. I feel like, though, Amaya is valid in her feelings. Because, Ace, you said that you wanted to explore. Then you chose me in the recoupling. So when you chose me in the recoupling, I'm thinking, of course, we're exploring. It's Love Island. However, when you chose me in that recoupling, I became your number one. It made me feel like you like me more than everybody else. So you can't be, Ace, you can't be naive to the fact that she felt that way. Because when you recouple, that's what a recoupling means, sir. That's what a recoupling means. You really can't be blind to that fact. You really can't. Now, he had, as soon as she took a breath, he said, I said that we were friends. Oh my God, Ace. Please, sir, just be honest with this girl. What does that mean to you? So after she started talking with her hands and getting kind of loud, he said, okay, look, since you don't understand, let me be clear. I said, please, nigga, be clear. Please be clear. Because that's what the issue was this entire time. You weren't being clear. I am no longer interested in pursuing you. Great. Thank you. Yippee. And she was like, I'm not interested in getting to know you either, because the more I get to know you, the less I want to get to know you. I said, period. Period, sis. Period. Ace really pissed me out, though. If I was Amaya, I wouldn't even want to be nowhere in his presence. I don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, none of that. You can't even breathe the same air as me. Because Ace, I don't know, bro. I just felt like, I did feel like he was playing with her. Because that's what that means in a recoupling. Yeah, we're exploring, but you chose me. Meaning I'm your number one in this moment. And yet you're telling me you're number one, all the boundaries that you have and all the things that you won't do, but yet you're doing that with somebody else. Am I your number one or not? So Amaya's feelings were definitely genuine. She is a firecracker, though. She really needs to learn how to take a beat, take a breather, because like he said, and I'm like Ace with that, when you start doing all that neck rolling and hand talking and yelling, I'm not paying attention to you anymore. Because who are you talking to for real? Ooh, child. Now, all the while that's happening, Shelly and Austin are finally having their breakfast. And Austin states, you know how he's tired of Ace always coming in between him and Shelly. Ace is always pulling Shelly away from Austin. Always. Every time he wants to chat, she's like, okay, I don't like that. Especially if Austin is your number one. Now, of course, I'm speaking in hypotheticals, as if Austin's really interested in Shelly. I'm speaking in hypotheticals. If we didn't know what we knew about Austin, Shelly would be wrong. Because if I'm your number one, every time this man calls you, every time Ace calls you, you run. You run. So, understandably, Austin's like, this is affecting my connection with you because I don't want to be so vulnerable with a person who isn't even giving me their 100%. Makes sense to me. Austin confides in Charlie, and Charlie was like, well, Ace should have explored more before making his choice. Makes sense to me. Because when you made that choice, you had the option to choose Shelly, and you didn't. So whatever kind of game you trying to play, it backfired in your face. Because now, if I was Shelly, I would be looking at you like, one, you could have chosen me and you didn't. And two, now you putting me in drama that I don't need to be in. That says a lot about an individual. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and get into this game real quick, only because it's going to lead to a conversation towards the end of the episode that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, let's see some highlights from this game. Basically, they have questions they have to answer, hopefully truthfully. Then they flip a coin. You either get to kiss the person or pie the person. Let's talk about the important things. Hannah thinks that Austin is basic in bed. Okay, keep that in mind. Shelly says that Ace regrets the couple that he's in. Sierra says that she thinks that Ace is on Love Island for clout as opposed to love. I feel like we can all agree on that. However, it landed on kiss for them, and Ace, to quote y'all Villa Bestie, Ace was tonguing Sierra down, and I felt like that was disrespectful, because if Nick is your good homeboy, then you could kiss and do the challenge respectfully. Like, you don't need to be grabbing the back of her. You don't need to be grabbing on her throat and putting your tongue down her throat. Like, disrespectful, in my personal opinion. Olandria says, who is most likely to fake a relationship to make it to the finale? She said Jeremiah. Now, wait a minute. Because last night you said you were team Jeremiah and Huda. Now it's back on you think he's going to fake a relationship? Interesting. Well, it landed on kiss, so they gave each other a peck on the lips. And Huda said, y'all could have kissed. They wouldn't have cared. Bitch, yes, you would have. You would have been calling Olandria all types of bitches if she really kissed that man, how she is able to kiss that man. Because y'all know Olandria quick to stick that tongue out. Amaya says that Nick is the most boring. And Nick said, she don't know me. I said, Nick got some seasoning to him for real. And he kissed Amaya very passionately to show her what he really working with. And he said he actually enjoyed it more than he thought he would have. Nicholas, don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. Huda says that Ace is secretly waiting for somebody better to walk into the villa, which makes sense because him and Amaya just had that falling out. But I also think he is waiting for somebody better, because I don't think all this energy he put into Shelly, let somebody else come along. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. But Ace started getting in his feelings and it felt personal. Let's see. Nick said Austin has big D energy. I said Nick must not know what that means. Taylor said that Amaya is trying too hard. Sierra says that Shelly gives red flags, and she only did that because she wanted to kiss Shelly, and it was very much so passionate. Remember a couple videos ago, y'all, I said that Shelly needs to choose Sierra. I think that was in our live conversation. I told y'all I knew that they had some chemistry. I knew it. Ace says that Shelly has the nicest smile. It lands on kiss, and he put the whipped cream in his mouth and kissed her with the whipped cream in his mouth. That's so nasty to me. That is just disgusting to me. I hate that. But Shelly kicked that big old thigh up. Ace caught it and picked her up, and they just kissing each other. And I was like, this what I'm talking about. This that I'm talking about. Ace is technically single. Shelly, you're coupled up. And I think that is disrespectful because she kicked that leg up first. I'm just saying. Austin said that Hannah is most likely to cheat in the villa. He said that he chose Hannah for this so he could get back at her because she said that he was basic in bed. So this was a cute kiss. This was a little sexy kiss. They got pie, actually. However, Hannah leaned in for a kiss. And Austin picked her up and they started dry humping. I said, hold on now, because it was the back of the neck look over for me. I said, Austin, wait a minute now. I shouldn't be feeling this way about Austin. Okay, maybe that was BDE. Let me find something out. Austin, I'm just playing. I wanted him to look over though and look at Shelly like, yeah, what's up? But Austin, in the same breath, you need to give energy. I mean, you need to give Shelly that same energy. I'm just saying. So after the game, they have to debrief. All right, after the game, y'all know they have to debrief. And the girls debrief. Amaya is upset with Taylor for saying that she tries too hard. Girl, you definitely were. That man gave you a list of his boundaries and you were still on his DICK. Okay. And Huda said that she thinks that Ace is waiting for the next girl to come in. She said it was between you and Ace, but I'd rather pie Ace than pie you. Okay, so Huda, quote unquote, took one for the team. Just like if we go over to the guys' conversation, Taylor says he took one for the team by calling Amaya out on the fact that she was trying too hard. She was desperate. Ace then gets into how he felt like people was picking on him because of his situation with Amaya. Okay, so instead of just being honest and genuine, people were picking on me. You know what? He said he was a short king, but he's really 5'10". But it is giving little man syndrome, Ace. That's really what it's giving. But honestly, when Huda got that question, who do you think is just waiting for somebody better to come into the villa? I did think she was gonna say Jeremiah. Because I do feel like that's honestly how she felt. But next best choice was Ace. But then when Huda talks to it with Ace, talks about it with Ace, she was like, well, it was between you and Amaya, and I'd rather kiss you than kiss Amaya. I said, hold on, bitch. That's not what you just told Amaya. You just told Amaya that you rather pie Ace than pie her. Then you just told Ace that I'd rather kiss you than kiss Amaya. Maybe she is fake, like the boys said that she was. Interesting. I also wrote a lot of physical touching during Huda and Ace's conversation. Ace, you do have boundaries with everybody. I mean, you have boundaries with selective boundaries. No boundaries unless it's Amaya. This is the last part I want to talk about, you guys. Because I already said how Nick and Ace feel like Huda is a fraud. But Taylor, when Amaya came over to talk to Taylor, when she was walking over, everybody was like, oh my God. Like they were scared. Somebody, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Austin or Nick, but somebody said, she scares me. Amaya's presence brought fear to those men. That was so funny. And I was thinking, Amaya, a lot of guys do like that zestiness, that firecracker. But honestly, girl, I don't think you'll ever be able to keep a healthy relationship with that. So maybe you're on this show to work on your temper, possibly so. Next week, you guys, Austin and Shelly are going to continue to piss me off. Austin and Shelly are going to continue to piss me off because Ace and Shelly are going to continue to piss me off because Ace is going to lick whipped cream off of Shelly's chest. And she going to let him. And this is why, and like I stated, I'm speaking in hypotheticals as if Austin is really interested in Shelly. She is wrong for this, you guys. And Ace, you had your chance. You had your chance. And Shelly, he had his chance. Stop being at that boy's beck and call. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. No, for real, thank you so much for tuning in, especially if you made it this long. Engage with the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoy. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, subscribe for episodic reviews and weekly lives, you guys. But I also do more than Love Island. I have a whole playlist dedicated to love and dating shows. What else I do, y'all? Oh, and of course, I do news on movies and television. And just subscribe. Binge the channel, binge the playlist. I promise you're going to come across something that you like, okay? With that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.